Shalom, call hello Yahweh Bashem, Yahushai. Double honors to my teachers, the men whom I learned this truth from, beginning with the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, the men on down. Yahweh Bashem, Yahushai, Barakatham to the hopefully elect. Just want to do this quick video dealing with this topic. With everything that's been going on in the year of 2020, basically, you got a lot of these cases where people, they're acting as if they're lost, and a lot of confusion. People are cases in depression and suicide, right? All these things are the rates are going up, but again, people act as if the warnings, these things haven't been foretold already, so that's what I kind of want to touch on in this video, because again, with everything that's been going on, what we've been saying for years, now they're finally starting to come to fruition. They're starting to come to pass, and people are acting as if these things weren't foretold already. Because one thing about us, everything that's been going on is of no surprise. We're not surprised at all whatsoever. Because again, we've been saying these things, giving these warnings out for years, for decades. When you go to Amos 3 and 6, it says, "Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid?" Slakia, that's not what I wanted, but yeah, I can bring a point out in that. Nevertheless, I'll read it again. Amos 3 and 6, it says, "Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be even in the city, and Yahweh have not done it?" So basically, because again, pretty much everything that you see going on, ultimately, it's Yahweh Bashem Shai is the mastermind. He's the one that's bringing these all this discomfort to the land. All right. But again, the point being that these warnings, they were foretold already. What I wanted was Jeremiah 44, and I'm kind of just rolling in the spirit while the spirits on me to speak these things. Jeremiah 44. I'll start at verse 3. It says, "Because of their wickedness, which they have committed to provoke me to anger, and that they went to burn incense and to serve other gods whom they knew not, neither they, ye, nor your fathers. Howbeit I sent unto you all my servants, the prophets, rising early and sending them, saying, Oh, do not this abominable thing that I hate." So you see, again, the point being that everything that's been going on, Yahweh Bashem Shai, he set up certain men and prophets to send these warnings out, and they've been sending these warnings out again, for decades. Beginning with the apostles, the elders, and on down, they've been they've been giving out the warnings, and and they've been, trying to, because what the world perceives, as being hateful, hate speech, and they call it being judgmental. It's actually, love. When we're telling our people, to stop being homosexuals, and to stop smoking and stop committing adultery and doing all these other abominations. That's actually an act of love, despite what the world, how they look at it. All right, because you continue in these things, um, eventually, Yahweh Shemel Shai, he's going to act, and you know, eventually, you're going to be destroyed. That's the message that we've been um, sending out. Stop committing these abominations before the Lord destroys you. And again, that's love. Because if you didn't love our people, we wouldn't be out there, telling our people. We won't be out there or warning them. So again, with everything that's going on, it's not like the warnings, they haven't been, dished out there. It's not like they haven't been put out there. So now, that the warning is out, and to the certain individuals, those that didn't take heed to the warnings, now you're starting to be visited from Yahweh Shemel Shai. And the Lord start to, basically, show up at your doorstep, pay you a visit, because scriptures tell you that the wages of sin is death. And again, the Lord's He's only going to warn you for so long. Like I said, eventually He's going to act. So again, it shouldn't be to no surprise all these things are happening. And again, the prophets, the certain men that Yahweh Shemel Shai set up to send out these warnings, been doing it for years, and been giving out the warnings, and we're still giving out the warnings, and still telling you that from here on out things are only going to get worse. But even with that, you're still going to have our people, look at us crazy, and look at us with the evil eye, and when you read on, it says, verse 5, it says, "But they hearken not, nor incline their ear to turn from their wickedness, to burn no incense unto other God." So you see, again, been giving out the warnings, and still warning, still giving out those warnings, and we're still telling you that from here things are only going to get worse. America, this place is done, man. It's through. There's no coming back. No matter how optimistic you may be about this place is through, man. And there's no coming back. We're still giving those warnings out. Things are only going to spiral out of control. It's only going to get worse before it gets worse, before it gets worse, before it gets better. But again, for the most part, our people aren't going to take heed to these warnings, and this is why you got a lot of people that are trapped up in that snare of being, lost and confused. They don't know what to do. You're gonna have more cases of people committing suicide and falling under those demons, because that's all that is, dealing with the depression and anxiety. That's all that is. It's nothing but demons, heavy demons, But again, it's because one thing people like to, whenever something bad goes, or whenever something bad happens, not to point the finger at the Most High, as if He's an unjust power, when really, because of the pride that's filled in the hearts of the majority of the people, they don't want to look at themselves. They don't want to hold themselves accountable for their actions. Maybe verse 6, it says, "Wherefore my fury and mine anger was poured forth and was kindled in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem, and they are wasted and desolate as at this day." So you see, it's because of our own sins. Certain things befall us. We go through certain hell, all right, And at the end of the day, we gotta pay for our transgressions. That's what a lot of our people don't understand. Again, that's why you got a lot of individuals, falling under that umbrella of being depressed and anxiety and those thoughts of suicide. You know, the Lord, the mind of the plague of a mind, man. That's a heavy demon, man. That's it's not something that you can easily shake off. But again, um, a lot of people, um, they don't want to take heed to Yahweh Bashim Shai, His word, the prophets, the warnings. They don't want to take heed to these things. And again, Yahweh Bashim Shai, it's nothing for the Lord to, send you over to that reprobate mind. Basically, set you up to be destroyed. Because again, with everything that's going on, people, they look forward to the year 2020. This is the year, new millennium. A lot of people were looking forward to accomplishing certain things and whatnot. But this year turned out to be, it was a complete opposite. And a lot of people are saying F the Most High, like Lil Boozy, cursing out the Most High and blaming the Most High. Well, the Lord's, again, putting that spirit on you, setting you up to be destroyed. Because again, the hardness of your own hearts. That's what we gotta understand and what we gotta realize. A lot of times when we fall into that umbrella of being depressed and when those demons plague us, it's for one to check themselves and not point the finger at the Most High. Again, that's something that a lot of our people they're too filled with, they're just too far gone, man. Too much pride. When you go to Jeremiah 7 and 19, it says, "Do they provoke me to anger? Save Yahweh? Do they not provoke themselves to the confusion of their own faces?" So you see, because again, when we fall under that umbrella, that category, and when, we're being plagued by those demons, all right, we got to look at ourselves, because the Lord is judging us, it's like it. But yeah, the Lord is, He's judging us, because we're the ones that are provoking Yahweh Bashim Shai. We're the ones that's causing Yahweh Bashim Shai, causing Him to move His hand against us. So again, that's why a lot of people, they fall under that category. They're confused. A lot of people, they don't know what's going on. They don't know what to do. And even more so, because a lot of our people, man, they think that things are going to be like this forever. Because people can't look beyond this kingdom. So that's why a lot of people they're just losing it, man. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to handle this situation. They don't know what's to come. And again, because that also goes into because people aren't because again, at the end of the day, prophets, they've been giving out these warnings for years and for decades. But and now more so than ever, these prophecies are jumping out of the book. So a good way to keep your mind occupied, and a good way to keep those demons off you is by occupying your mind in these prophecies. Because again, we're living in a time of prophecy. Again, these prophecies, they're jumping off they're jumping off the pages, man. Go to what is that? Sirach. I think it's let me just look for it real quick. Try this. Sirach 41. That's not it. Let me go to Sirach 39. Sirach 39:1. Yeah, it says, "But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient, and be occupied in prophecies." So you see, keeping your mind stayed upon His word, this truth, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, these prophecies, because again, we're living in the time of prophecies. Because the great men of old, our forefathers, a lot of men, a lot of people, they killed it to know what we know today. A lot of people wish that they had the understanding that we have today. Because of this information that was sealed for a certain time. But it was prophesied that in the last days the book would be unsealed. This wisdom would be out there. It would be put out there. Because again, it's prophesied. We're coming to a time of great travail. And there will be a lot of confusion and wailing and gnashing of teeth. People looking for answers. People, just bug the hell out of their mind. But again, those that are, keeping your mind stayed on these laws, statutes, and commandments, these prophecies. All right, you won't fall under that category. Go to Deuteronomy 6 and 7. It talks about let me just read verse 7. It says, "And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up." So basically, this word, man, it should basically, always be in our mind. Teaching our children, just always being indulged in this word, these prophecies, this book. Especially now. Now more than ever. All right, because again, a lot of people, they're thirsting for answers. They don't know what to do. They're confused. They're being, trapped. They're getting trapped up under that umbrella of being lost and just being, all depressed and just bugging out. But that's because you don't want to take heed to word. You see, it all goes back to that self-examination. Which a lot of people, they're just walking around with too much pride, man, and they don't think that, they're just thinking too highly of themselves, just casting this word off like it's nothing. The very idea, or I should say the fact, because it's not an idea, but the very fact that Yahweh Bashim Yoshai, the Heavenly Father, is about to send His only begotten Son soon, in the very near future. That's a far-fetched idea to a lot of people. A lot of people, they don't think that could or is going to happen in this time, in our lifetime. But again, if your mind was occupied in these, this word, these prophecies, you would well understand that, we're definitely, in the last hour, man. We're definitely in the last seconds. From the uproars and uprisings of the people, all the tumults around the world, the planet, all these plagues and earthquakes and everything that's going on. All right. Those that have been occupying their mind in this word, man, they can well understand. And this is why, for the most part, they're not going to be left out there hanging, lost in that confusion, trapped up in that darkness, because they took heed to the prophets, giving those warnings. They took heed to them. You know, um, so these things, man, they don't come to no surprise. When I see people walking around with just confused as hell, and they don't know nothing, man. It's I mean, I'm more surprised at that fact because again, I've been saying these things for years. You know, um, read Second Edges, the 7th chapter, verse 20 says, "For there be many that perish in this life because they despise the law of the Most High that is set before them." So you see, at the end of the day, we get paid for our works, man, whether it be good or whether it be evil. You know, and again, a lot of people, for the most part, the mass majority of the people, they don't take into consideration, these words, and this is why a lot of people they're just trapped under that umbrella, man. A lot of people they're going to be left out there hanging by themselves. People taking their own lives because they can't deal with it. They can't handle it, and like I said earlier, it's only going to get worse from here. And this is why the importance of being indulged in this word, man. It can't be stressed enough because this is going to be the only thing that is going to keep you stable in the times that we're coming into. Reading on verse 21, it says, "For the Most High hath given straight commandment to such as came, what they should do to live, even as they came, and what they should observe, to avoid punishment." So you see, because again, with everything that's going on right now, worldwide, people, they're confused, they have questions, they just don't know. They're lost. But everything is written in these scriptures. So that's the thing. Everything is written in the Bible for us to learn from. As it tells you in the book of Romans, the 15th chapter, everything was written for our learning. Everything written aforetime was written for our learning. There's nothing that any individual goes through that someone else hasn't gone through. And again, basically, this we can all learn from this Bible. So if you're indulged in if you're indulged in this thing, you won't be trapped up in that web of just being in ignorance and walking around in darkness. Being indulged in this word, it'll teach you how to build certain qualities in yourself. The purification process. Enduring hardness like a good soldier, and dealing with our chastening now, so we don't get condemned with the world. The Bible, it teaches you all these things. Because let me tell you, man, when all hell breaks loose out here, man, people are man, they're gonna lose it. It's gonna get real bad out here. But again, because those that took heed to the warnings, they listened to the prophets. All right, they dealt with what they had to deal with, took advantage of the mercy that is given to us from Yahweh Shem Shai. We took advantage of all these things now. So when all hell breaks loose, man, we're not gonna be left out there hanging without that hedge of protection from Yahweh Shem Shai. Because again, man, it's going to get real. It's going to get bad. You think it's bad now, man. The scriptures talk about how this is only the beginning, man. The beginning of sorrows. So reading on down to verse 22 says, nevertheless, they were not obedient unto him, but spake against him and imagined vain things. So you see, at the end of the day, that all goes back to you. You know, you not taking heed. You not taking advantage of this grace period that Yahweh Shem Shai has given us to repent, to change, because you think that nothing's wrong with you. You think that you don't need to repent. You don't think that you need to change. You think that you're fine just the way that you are. You know, and hey man, Yahweh Shem Shai, he knows how to humble you, man. And the great humbling is about to take place. Yahweh Shem Shai is about to humble a lot of people, man. You know, Yahweh Shem Shai is about to put the fear on the earth, man. That's why I said, you know, what you see going on now, man. A lot of people, you know, you starting to get visited from Yahweh Shem Shai, but you haven't experienced his full wrath yet. You know, when you read verse 23, it says, and deceived themselves by their wicked deeds, and said of the Most High that he is not, and knew not his ways. So you see that people are too prideful, and you just cast off the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shem Shai like they're not important, like they're not relevant. You know, like this, as if this Bible is outdated or something. You know, which these words are being played out as we speak. You know, they're being played out right before our eyes, and that's another reason why a lot of people are trapped up in that snare of confusion and depression, because they heard this word and heard this message, and you know they casted it off, and they know they messed up. And you know, a lot of people, they can't deal with that self-guilt. They can't deal with that conviction. And that's why a lot of people are you know, all messed up in the head, because they know they messed up, and they know that Yahweh Shem Shai is visiting them. You know, they don't want to deal with the harsh reality. So that, again, you know, that's why a lot of people, they're taking their own lives. You know, read verse 24, it says, but his law have they despised and denied his covenants. In his statutes have they not been faithful, and have not performed his works. So again, you know, at the end of the day, it's because of us. You know, a lot of times when we fall into that, you know, when we're in that ditch, and you know, it just seems like we can't get out. You know, the best thing to do is, man, is to humble yourself. And, you know, whenever hell and affliction comes, that's when Jake likes to start crying out to Yahweh Shem Shai. You know, but again, you know, these plays, Yahweh Shem Shai, he ultimately, he's the one that's bringing them. You know, because of you know, our wicked deeds. And that's the point of the, you know, the point being that, you know, we're the ones that's going off, and but you're only going to have a small remnant, you know, take heed and, you know, humble themselves down. You know, real quick, I'm going to go to Sirach, the 38th chapter. Sirach 38, or Ecclesiasticus 38, I'll start at verse 18. It says, for of heaviness cometh death, and the heaviness of the heart breaketh strength. In affliction also sorrow remaineth, and the life of the poor is the curse of the heart. Take no heaviness to heart, drive it away, and remember the last end. And again, a lot of people, man, especially our people, they can't see past America. They can't see past Babylon the Great. So that's why, you know, your mind is trapped in this web of darkness, because you don't see. You think that, you know, the course of this earth is going to be this way forever. You know, and that's more so the flesh, because the scriptures talk about how our spirits, you know, they're being trapped in these chains of darkness, this body. because Jake, you know, um, it's just in our spirit, man. We just, Jake, man, for the most part, we want to be at rest, but we want the kingdom, but we trying to carry that on the place of in this earth, and the scriptures talk about this is not our rest, man. That's what Jake has to understand. We're never going to get rest here in this captivity. We're always going to be, in discomfort. And again, Jake has to open their eye to see that there's so much more to it than this. This is nothing. Again, Jake is just one dimensional, and they can't see anything past. They can't see past these things. They can't see past what the eyes can see. And this is why a lot of Jake, they just get trapped up in that snare. But if you're indulged in this word, man, and indulge your mind in these prophecies, for the most part, you're gonna be all right, man. Get this, and I'll end it off on this. Isaiah 33 and 6, it says, "And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of Yahweh is his treasure." So you see, because again, when all hell breaks loose out here, man, this word, what you've taken in, that's all you're gonna have to guide you in those days. And if you haven't, taken the time out to be diligent in this thing, then, hey man, you're just gonna be left out there hanging. You're gonna be in that web of confusion, darkness, no hedge of protection, no strength, no nothing. So that was just a little bit of a rant. Yahweh Ratazah, you were edified. So I want to give all acknowledgement once again to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Double honors to my teachers, beginning with the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and on down. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Barakatham to the hopefully elect. And until next time, Shalom.